Be honest with me now. Who avoids swimming butterfly at all costs?
This guy.
Yeah, me too. I mean, who even thought it was a good idea to create that stroke?
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. But it actually has a big place in your swim training. It's pretty good for your strength, even for the front crawl. I actually had quite a few swim coaches who insisted that I do butterfly as my swim training. So today, we're going to show you how and why you should do butterfly.
Oh, don't be scared. It's only a bit of butterfly. Come on. Okay, first of all, we are going to talk you through how butterfly can help your freestyle swimming, and then we're going to talk you through how you can include it into your training. Now, as many of you will agree, butterfly is hard, but that's good, kind of. I mean, if I do butterfly in training, I pretty much immediately feel it in my muscles afterwards. It feels like I've been throwing weights around in the gym. And that, quite simply, is one of the main reasons to include it in your training rather than avoiding it. The training effect is ultimately going to make you a stronger and more powerful swimmer regardless of the stroke. So, including some short reps of butterfly in your training can make you a stronger swimmer. But also, it's just a great way of mixing your swimming up. Rather than opting for the traditional strength workouts like using a pool buoy or paddles, why not throw some butterfly in?
Then there's the arm movement. I know fly and freestyle look very different, but the arm movement is actually very similar. First, the catch and the elbow position. As your hands enter the water, you need to start applying downward pressure through to the pull phase. This downward pressure on the water is what keeps your momentum going and keeps you moving forward. And the way to do this best is to keep your elbows high. Sound familiar? Yep, because that's exactly what you do in the front crawl. The downward pressure through to the pull phase is what keeps your momentum and stops you sinking. Secondly, the motion through the whole catch and pull phase is remarkably similar too. Under the water, your hands start off slowly and accelerate to the exit before both arms recover over the water and back to the start position. If you can do this with both arms at once doing fly, it'll be remarkably easy to do it with one arm at a time when you're doing front crawl.
And then there's your core. Oh yeah, anyone that's swum butterfly before will have felt their core afterwards. And that's another reason for a big thumbs up. Granted, not exactly the same movement and motion as freestyle swimming, but your core is still very important. To swim well, you need your full body working at once, and that requires your core. For instance, you might have fantastic arm movement and motion, you may have fantastic leg movement, but if it's not connected and working together, you just won't be getting as much from it. So, by including some butterfly swimming into your training, you can activate, engage, and strengthen your core, and getting used to using your core whilst swimming. And then when you do flip back to swimming freestyle, you'll feel the benefit.
So how would a non-fly swimmer include fly in their training? Now, we're not going to suggest you do loads and loads in your session, but you have to do enough to make it hard and get that strength benefit. So you have to do a fair amount. Sorry.
Yeah, and a great way to do this is with individual medley. Individual medley, or IM for short, is essentially doing all 4 strokes in quick succession, starting with butterfly, then backstroke, then breaststroke, and finally finishing with freestyle or front crawl.
Of course, that does mean you also have to do backstroke and breaststroke, but they're not as hard as fly, and you will get it in. So a suggestion would be maybe something like 4x100 meter IM with 25 meters of each stroke and 20 seconds rest. Or you can include this in your warm-up or after your main set. Or you could actually just add a few more reps and make your whole main set IM, an IM main set.
Yeah, the other option is to focus purely on butterfly over some short reps, something like 8 lots of 25 meters butterfly with 20 to 30 seconds rest between. Do be warned though, your arms are pretty likely going to feel like jelly on the last couple of reps.
If all this fly is a little bit too much for you, don't worry, I totally understand. What you can also do is just 10 or 15 meters of fly and then finish the rest of the length doing freestyle as normal.
Yeah, now personally, I used to do a lot of this and a lot of butterfly swimming in the off season when I wasn't focusing on race pace efforts and whatnot. Do be warned though, it can be really hard to start out with, and you may not actually complete full sessions, but do stay strong because you'll be surprised with yourself. Just after a few weeks, you'll be doing more reps and maybe just surviving sessions and feeling okay.
Wait, you can get to a point with fly where it doesn't feel horrific? I don't think I ever got there. Anyway, stick with fly. It's really good for your front crawl strength. We think you should definitely give it a go in your swim training. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon for some more swim tips.